family wise, I didn't really like tell my family about my music for the first couple years I was doing it. But again, thanks to like me having like some dope friends and like a good like supportive fan base, I felt like the confidence and ability to do that. And now my family is like super supportive of what I do as well.
You love me, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. You love me, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
Yo, what's up guys, it's Gabzzz here, welcome back to another video. Today, we've got the interview with Animation Raps, or Animation. I found through my TikTok, asking for artists who are going to be in Montreal that weekend. And literally, the amount of comments from his fan base was insane. And I think it's something that every artist should strive to build, is a fan base similar. And in this interview, he talks a little bit about that and how he's done that. So, if you're an artist, I genuinely think this interview is worth your time. If you're not into that, it's okay. Be sure to subscribe. I got more interviews coming. I've got one more from this trip, and then I got some more different videos in between time, and then I should be making another trip early next year, January, February-ish, to do a bunch more interviews. So let me know where you want me to go and what artists you want me to interview down in the comments down below. And yeah, let's get right into the interview. So I'm here with Animation. You can introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah, my name is Animation. I live in Newmarket. I'm from Newmarket, near Toronto, Ontario. That's where we at. So I do most of my shows and hit studios and stuff like that in Toronto. So I guess I'm Toronto based, but yeah, I'm from a place called Newmarket.
Yeah. And how did you get your start in music?
I was always like super into music ever since a young age. Like I always like studied it. I listened to like all different types of genres. Mostly hip hop obviously was my main influence. I guess not obviously, but but yeah, that was my main influence. And yeah, I just like fell in love with music from a young age. And then in high school and stuff like that, I was writing music when I was younger, not as seriously, and like freestyling with the homies and that kind of thing. And then I started taking it more seriously when I was in college. So I was like, I guess like 17, 18 years old. So about like six years or so now. Okay. And yeah, I started taking it more seriously when I was in school for video, because I went to school for film, trying to, I guess, like pick something that I felt was like realistic and whatnot. I felt like music was kind of a reach, but through actually like being in school and stuff and kind of seeing like what the industry would be like, and like thinking on like what my life would really be like doing like film or like just like a job like that, just didn't feel like it was like what was right for me. So yeah, then I decided to just commit to the music.
What are some of your inspirations?
Like musically, like artists and stuff. Damn, I listen to so many different artists, so it's a hard question. But Brockhampton, I really like artists that do like unique kind of stuff with their music. So I always list them as like an inspiration, because I always find that like you can learn the most from artists that do the most like different kind of like weird stuff. Mac Miller's a big inspiration for me, for sure. I don't know, man. I listen to a lot of different like styles of music and stuff like that too. I like Johnny Cash a lot. He makes dope music. Yeah. I've been rocking with that. But yeah, I mean, I'm again like from a young age, I was just one of those people that listened to like every artist you could think of. I know like every underground artist.
You've got like an eclectic taste.
Yeah. So like I don't know, I'm always listening to different music. I'm never like one to be. I go through my phases with certain artists and stuff like that. And like I said, like obviously like have like my like Mac Miller was a huge inspiration for me for sure. But yeah, like I went through phases of everything. When I was real young, I liked Michael Jackson a lot.
And well, since you have such a diverse music taste, how do you think that impacts your music?
I think it makes me want to like try a lot of different like kinds of styles and different things with my music. Right now I'm actually working on a project that I'm hoping to drop next year. Like we're almost at the end of 2022, so like 2023. Maybe like midway through the year. I've been working on it like all year this year too. But I've been trying to reach out and like branch off and like to like different styles and stuff like that. So The project I'm working on now is like kind of like alternative, like experimental. So yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of like different like instruments and just like melodies and sounds from me that I haven't really put out before. I've always experimented with like different sounds and genres, but I've never necessarily committed to really like putting that style of myself out there, if that makes sense. I've always kind of stuck with like pop, hip hop, like what's safe for me, you know what I mean? But now I'm really starting to like branch out and just try like, again, like experimental, like weird stuff. And so I think that like listening to, you know, the all these different genres of music and different artists and like weird stuff like that, it has given me the ability to be like, oh well, this guy did this and it sounded sick. So, you know, like sometimes doing the weirdest stuff in a microphone sounds the coolest. So
well, that's what you got to do to find your own sound and stuff like that. Make yourself unique.
And like everything I do in my music is like come from hearing something somewhere else. Like maybe not doing the exact same thing, but hearing like, oh, this guy did this, so I could probably do you know, something in a similar way.
What would you say is your biggest achievement to date?
Man, playing shows is like my like favorite thing to do, and I've gotten to open for some cool artists recently. I opened for NASCAR Aloe, if you know who that is. Yeah, we played at Parkdale Hall in Toronto. I was able to open for Uno the Activist at the same venue. And I don't know if you know the artist New, NUE, artist from Toronto.
No, I don't.
Not like huge, but up and coming, and I've been listening to him for a few years. I met him at the Uno show. I was able to make a track with him. I just put out actually, so that was cool. So those kinds of opportunities are dope, and like having played like smaller shows and having the right people see me, I guess, and like putting myself in the right places has allowed me to like have those kinds of opportunities. Like even back before COVID in like I want to say like 2017 or 18. I think maybe 2019 even, but I don't know. It was like before COVID. And the biggest show I'd done at that time, we opened for Young Tory.
Okay.
So again, like when I'm on stage, I'm just able to like fully express myself and like throw down stuff, and doing that has allowed me to be like put in like kind of cool places and stuff like that. So that's a big accomplishment for me. Also, my biggest song on Spotify right now is Change, and that's I did initial promotion on that I think 2 years ago now when I first released it, and a lot of the time when you do like playlist promotion and stuff like that, you get like results at the start, you get like initial like, you know, numbers from people like seeing it on the playlist and that kind of thing, and then it sort of fades out. That track has 370,000 streams or so now on Spotify, and it's still growing. Like every day it gets like 200, 300 streams. So I know people are like actually consistently listening to it, which is dope. Because again, like a lot of time it fades out, and you have like, you know, your core people who like will always listen to your music and stuff, but that's like kind of the biggest numbers that I've seen consistently on a track, and it kind of comes on and off like Discover Weekly playlists and like stuff like that on Spotify, and certain weeks it will jump up to like a couple thousand streams a day for like a week or 2 weeks, and it's like still like it's hanging in there, you know what I mean? It's doing well, and people are actually listening to it and stuff still consistently. I haven't promoted it since that like initial promotion when I first dropped it, and it's still doing pretty well, so that's cool to see, just from like, you know, like not from a standpoint of like, oh, like my numbers are great or anything like that. Just like to see that people are actually like listening to a song of mine like every day is really cool. So,
yeah. And I will say, when I put out the post asking for interviews here in Montreal, you have a pretty dedicated fan base of people who probably connect with your music, and I would like to know how you've built that.
Honestly, it started like just through people I know, like friends, and I've been blessed to just have like a supportive group of friends and like family and stuff like that behind me. Family wise, I didn't really like tell my family about my music for the first couple years I was doing it, but again, thanks to like me having like some dope friends and like a good like supportive fan base, I felt like the confidence and ability to do that, and now my family is like super supportive of what I do as well. But yeah, like it definitely started out with just like the homies and stuff like that, and like luckily from them like pushing your stuff, like bro, that's why like be annoying, like send people your stuff, and like the people that care will support you, and like when you find the people, like, you know, if people don't care about your stuff, don't keep spamming them. But like when you find the people that care, that are actually like genuinely gonna support you, it's like just be real, just be honest with people. Like I don't like walk around and act like I'm like some big artist. I don't act sick. I don't like pretend like I'm you know what I mean, like bigger than I am, or like I'm like better than people because I'm like an artist. Like I just am trying to create my stuff and like put it out there, and like I just be genuine about it. I tell people like, yo, I would appreciate if you could like help me push this or do that for me. Like, and I've had friends with like connections in the right places that have allowed me to, again, like see certain opportunities that have helped me like push myself forward. And again, just being genuine and honest with people, and just like just being real has like allowed me to develop a lot with like a lot of people. And I met people like, again, like through my shows and stuff like that. Like I get off stage and people come up and talk to me, and they follow me on Instagram. It's not like I'm like they're like a fan. It's like they're a supporter. Like that's somebody who's here like at the start, right? And like I follow them back, and like I message those people, we talk, like and they come to the next shows, and then they bring friends there, and you grow like that, you know what I mean? Again, just being like real with people, and just like not acting like you're some like big artist, because like we're all just like at the start, we're coming up trying to like build something together. And like even with other artists, connecting with other artists, like you meet a lot of artists that like they act like they're like doing this or they're doing that, making big moves, and it's like cool, that's good. I hope that everyone is doing that, but also it's like like sharing the love with everybody, and just like, again, being real with people, and just working with people, and putting yourself in the right places, and putting yourself out there to work with like an artist that you can work with an artist that's a nobody if you think he makes cool music, and like it's not like about that. You just make a dope song with somebody, and you never know where that artist is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like believe in the people around you, believe in the other artists that are like in our city and that are in like in your area. Like you're connecting with certain people for reasons. Like you're connecting with those people, like you're in the room with those people playing that show and like performing in front of those people for a reason. So like give it your all. Like even if you're performing for 5 people, just keep it real, bro, and connect with people. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's what's wild about like this new age. I think there's a new wave of music coming around, and people are starting to realize that these people you think are untouchable are realistically like just open to it and like available through social media and everything. So who's one person that's like reached out to you or given you love that like surprised you?
Honestly, like just artists that I've worked with in terms of like features and stuff like that, or like played shows with, like again, like Young Tory, for example. He's not like some huge artist, but like he's doing well. He's obviously bigger than me in the city, and he's doing his thing, which is dope. And like playing shows with those, like with him, like he's a nice guy, he's a super chill dude. Like again, message him on Instagram, stuff like that. An artist from Toronto, like I look at him as like a rock star. He's like an artist that I've rocked with for years, and like again, super nice guy. Like you'd think like I might get my feature from him, and then he just like doesn't talk to me anymore. I dropped the track, he said like congratulations on the release, that kind of thing. So honestly, like a handful of artists, just like when you're out actually working with artists in the city, like you said, like you think of them as like some like big deal or whatever, but then when you're actually like in the room with them, or you're actually working with them, like most of them are genuine. They know that like we're all just trying to kind of do the same thing, right? Like I don't know about like how like huge artists are, obviously, because I'm not like, I haven't necessarily connected with artists on like that big of a scale yet, but the artists that again are like bigger than me that I've worked with have always like like shown me love and just been supportive. It's all like, I don't know, that's what like a lot of people say Toronto is missing, and I think we're getting better at it, is like just like being supportive of each other and shit,
And who's one person you want to collaborate with like in the near future? Like not necessarily a dream collab, but like someone who you've seen around and who's in the scene, maybe like roughly the same like audience as you.
There's like a couple artists that are kind of, I guess, bigger in the underground, more in the hip hop scene than like they're not like trap artists, I guess, or like that. Like obviously I know that scene's like kind of bigger, but again, in working on this new like alternative project and stuff like that, I've been trying to like branch out and like find like my niche and like my audience and stuff. Maybe not be like as much of like a pop artist or like just like a straight hip hop artist, when like that might not be the lane that I'm like set to be in. But yeah, I do listen to like Mick Jenkins, you know that artist? No. So Mick, so again, like kind of underground. He's like a lyrical artist. I don't know, you know Sylvan LeCue by chance either? No. So okay, so I don't know if anyone, you know, watching knows, but those are a couple artists that I'm hoping to work with. I'm hoping to get on my project, so I've been like able to get their contact for to reach out for features and stuff like that. So I've been listening to them for, again, a few years back, and they're not huge, like I said, but they're in the underground scene, like, and they're talented, like I say, you know, like if there's somebody that you think you can make a dope song with, that's really all that matters, and you should go for it and make a song with them. That's how I feel, right? So
and what would be the dream collab?
Oh, the dream collab, that's a tough question. I don't know, there's a lot of guys I would like to work with a lot. I'm gonna say Gorillaz, to be honest. Once I get the Gorillaz collab, then yeah, for sure, that'd be dope. I feel like you would make something crazy. So
and you talked about the project. What's your next big move? Is that the project?
The project, yeah. Well, I mean, I got a few things on the go right now. So I have a music video. I have a couple singles I'm gonna be releasing before the end of the year still. So I got a single called Long Story coming up in like a couple weeks. I'm literally about to announce it like this coming week. So it'll probably be announced by the time like the interview's out, and might even be like released. So I'm dropping that soon. And then I got a few more singles dropping before the end of the year. So I'm trying to just like hit them with a couple before the year goes out, and then next year fully focus on the project. I also have a collab project coming out. It's 16 tracks with two artists I've been working with a lot, Gord MP3 and Jost. So that's called Conglomerate, and that's going to be dropping before the end of the year as well. So I got a handful of stuff coming all before the end of this year, and then like I said, I've been working on the project that's coming out next year. This whole past year, even I guess a bit into last year. So I've been working on it for a while, just trying to like take my time with it. And yeah, that'll be the main focus of next year. So I guess that project is probably about, I'll say 45% done, 40% done or so. So yeah, once I get all this stuff rolled out, then I'm fully locking in on that, and then it'll be like, you know, promo season for all that and stuff. So yeah.
And where can people find you?
Animation on all platforms like Apple, Spotify, and stuff. And then Animation Raps is my @ on like Instagram, Twitter, anything like that. So yeah, TikTok and stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming over. Thank you for your time. Honestly, it was a good interview.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, bro. I see you doing your thing. So again, I just I saw you post up and say who wants to come for an interview, so I hit up all the homies. I said, you know, comment on this for me, and I figured it would be good to come through. So yeah, appreciate you, bro. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.